Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sima God. So if this is your first time, please just hit the subscribe button. And today we're making this beautiful top like we saw in the picture that made us click on this video. If this looks like what you want to learn how to make from scratch to finish, stay tuned. So in this part of this video, we are going to be doing the cutting process. There will be a part 2 video where the sewing process will take place. So take a chill pill, relax, and enjoy this tutorial. Thank you.
So today we are going to be making the beautiful blouse we saw before this video, and it's actually very easy. So I have my pattern paper, my marker, my tape, my chalk, and I'm using this beautiful African print to make that my lining and all of that we're going to use for this. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is for us to get the actual measurements we need for this. Now it's good to note that for this style we are actually drafting the front and back on fold. We are drafting the full front and the full back, not center front to side front. We are drafting the full front bodice and the full back bodice, the shoulder to waist for each of them. So what I will do first of all is to fold. My pattern is on fold now. All I need right now is to mark my measurements. The shoulder to waist for front is 19. So I'll be marking my 19 inches here. Straight down, 19 and 19. And then after marking, I would connect. So after connecting, I'm going to cut it out. So this is what I'll be using to draft for the front. So after this, the next thing I'll do is to draft my shoulder measurements. I'm working with a shoulder of 16. On fold is 8 inches. I have my shoulder slope of 1 inch here. And then I have my armhole depth of 9 inches. Then I'll be inserting my shoulder measurement here, which is 8. I would connect it. Then for now, I will just insert my basic neck, which is 3 by 3. Connect my shoulder slope. My bust, I'm working with a bust of 46 divided by 2 by 4 gives me 11.5. Then the waist, I'm working with a waist of 40. 40 divided by 4 gives me 10. So I would mark that 10. And after that, I would connect. So after connecting, this is what I have. I would get the mid armhole for the front, which is 4.5. I would go inward by half of an inch. I would connect this and then connect this to the mid armhole. After doing this, I would get my shoulder to bust point, which is 11 inches, and I will mark it. And then the shoulder to under bust, which is 15 inches, and I will mark it. And I want to convert this to a bustier, so I will just mark 4.5 for bust point to bust point, for bust point to bust point. And then the next thing I'll do is to take my normal dart for now, which is half of an inch on both sides. Then I'll connect it to the bust point. Then I would come by this side, I would go in by half, and by this side I will go outward by 1.5. That is at the under bust area. And then I'll connect it straight. I'll connect this to this, and I'll connect this to this. I will then connect from the mid armhole to this part of the darts, to this part of the darts. Then I will come down by 1.5 and connect it here. After connecting it, I would go upward here by 1.5 and blend it back into the armhole. Then for the bust dart, I would mark my shoulder to bust point and then come down by the side by 1 inch and connect it here. I In total, what I took out of here is about two, 1.5 plus one, that's 2.5 plus half, that's 3 inches. I will replace as much as I can be able to replace, which is 1.5 on this side. So when I'm cutting the main fabric, I'll replace another 1.5 before I add my seam allowance. So after doing that, the next thing I will do, because this is into two, you know that it's not showing on this side, I'm going to get my tracing wheel and I will trace all of these drawings, all the drawings I made here. I will trace them carefully so that they will reflect on the other part of this pattern paper to make my work easier for me. So I will just keep tracing, keep at it like that, keep at it like that. And then just make sure that all the vital parts that you really want to reflect on the other part of this pattern paper, that you properly trace them all out. So like this, I'm done tracing them. So all I need to do is to use my marker pen to trace it out. So this is what I have. It's easier when you use your tracing wheel instead of you to be drafting on both sides. So now all I need to do is to follow the traces I have, and you can see I'm good to go. So yeah, you just continue downward. This is my bust darts. So literally this is all what we needed, and then we go straight to the design for the front. Remember, we've not drafted the back, we've just drafted only the front. Now for the front, I would want us to understand one thing, that it is actually more like a mono strap that has a cape. Now for the front, by this side, I would go inward here from the neck by actually 1 inch or 1.5 inch. Okay, I think I prefer 1.5 inch. And then I would come down. So after marking the 6 inches here, we'll see that the design didn't just come straight. It came kind of slanty, like in a diagonal form like this. So I would just choose to follow that shape like this. And after doing that, this is what I have. So let's say the distance from here to that point is about 5 inches. You can use your preference. While from here, the starting line, we have about 7 inches here. So let's just ignore the 6 inches. We have about from here 7 inches, and then it's slanted this way. Then the distance from this point to this point is 5 inches. So after doing that, the next thing I'll be doing is to mark my from this point. I will mark about 5.5 inches and connect it this way. From here, you come down by 5.5 inches and connect it down to this point. Now if you have a need to adjust to your preference, maybe come deeper with the shape of the v-neck, is all up to you at this point. So after doing that, the next thing we are going to be doing, I would come by this side. I would go inward by 1.5 inches. After going inward by 1.5 inches, I will just blend it like this. Just do this. Now the front is ready. The next thing we are going to be doing is to cut this. So when it gets to this 1.5 inches part that I slanted this way, I'm going to be cutting it out, and then I'll follow this shape, which is the shape of the neck, and then I'll cut it out. I'll continue like this. I'll cut the side bust here. So this is what I have basically for this, um for the front of this for now. So this is what I have. Then I'll go ahead to draft the back of this too. So let's draft together. So for the back, I have my shoulder to waist already cut out. That is 18 inches, which is 1 inch lesser than the shoulder to waist for the back. So all I need to do now is to draft my shoulder, mark my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches, and I'll mark my shoulder slope, which is 1 inches, and then I'll mark 9 inches for my armhole depth. Then mark my 8 inches here too, and then connect. After doing that, I'll mark my bust measurement, which is 11.5, and then I'll mark my waist measurement, which is 10, and then I'll connect them together. Now for the back, I will just still mark the 3 inches by 1, which is the basic neck, before I actually alter the neck. Then I will just mark my shoulder slope. I'll get the mid part of this armhole, which is 4.5, go inward by 0.25, connect it here, and blend my armhole there too. After doing that, I would come here for my back tightening of 1 inch, and then I'll connect it down here, and then I will mark my darts for the center back, which is 4.5, and I'll take half of an inch here. Then I would connect. After connecting, I would alter this to a princess armhole dart just by curving it this way. After curving it this way, I will come up a little bit slightly and blend it back slightly by say half of an inch or 1 inch or 1 inch, and then slightly blend it into the armhole. After doing this, like we did at the front part, I will trace all necessary parts that I need to reflect on the other side. So this is what I am doing right now. So this is it, and this is it. Then I'll trace the shoulder slope too. Then I would open up, connect back my back tightening, the neck, mark the shoulder slope, do this and just pretty much trace back everything that I use the tracing wheel to mark. And then we have this full um bodice for the back. Now the only thing I need to take note of here is to bring this one here, is to bring my um front bodice here. Take note of how many inches that I went down here by. So let's say this is what I have here. You just blend back your shoulder, blend your shoulder inward. This is the front bodice now, and I will just give it, you either make it straight or you just connect it like this. But I and you can actually, you either make it straight or you can make it slanty like this. For me, I feel like you just make it a bit straight, not slanty, for the back. And that is all I need here. Then I will just mark about, let me say I mark about 6 inches here, and I'll give it a straight marking at the back. Straight, please note that I'm marking even this side and this side straight. Just mark the straight line this way here first, then you come this way, you mark your 5 inches like we did in the front, or 5.5. 5.5, you can actually connect it this way to match into this straight line here. Here should be straight because you want your zipper to be equal there. And then after that we cut. Now if you notice, I drafted this, and the way I'm going to be doing it, this place is actually, this one is a mono strap. It is very essential for you to take note of how this one is facing and how the cutting would be. Now you see the cutting, I didn't just come ahead to start doing this other part. I made sure that they are both, this is serving as the inside and this is serving as the front, so you do not make a mistake. Just follow the process the way I place the pattern while drafting, all facing me for now. Then just follow it step by step. Even when we are going to be cutting the fabric, I will tell you how to place your fabric rightly, so you do not make mistake while drafting or while cutting your fabric, especially when you're working with your fabric, or especially when you're doing a mono strap design. So now after doing that, the next thing I will do is to go right ahead and cut this. So this is this. Now please, for this side, if you remember, when we are drafting the front, we actually went inward here by 1.5. You are also supposed to do that here, because here is actually an off shoulder. So please take note of that, and then you continue cutting. Then you just continue. Then here, follow the shape. So this is what you have. So this is what you have. This is what you have, and this is what you have for the back, while this is what you have for the front.
So this is the final outcome of the dress. Now to there's a video on how to sew and how to couple this dress. That will be the part 2. So you can do well to watch how this was coupled from scratch to finish. So see you on the part 2 of this video. Till next time, I remain Simago. Please don't forget to share my videos, like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.